Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. Greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much for your support. Now, I've been posting videos quite regularly. I've mentioned yesterday that we should have a bit of a pullback because we've had, that very energetic reaction to what happened over the previous weekend. A lot of people were extremely excited and with good reason for his survival, obviously. And I will address a little bit on that as well. So markets are taking a breather. However, the bond market remains stable. Bitcoin remains very close to 65,000. Ethereum will have its ETF, apparently will have its ETF starting next week. And the Russell still remains at quite elevated levels, and the Nasdaq took the biggest hit in terms of sell-off, which is also a bit normal because it had, it was already year to date up 20-something%, and we do need some of these pullbacks to give the market a chance to breathe and to process some of the developments. Now, I do hope to see in the second half of the year. This is something that I've said in the beginning of the year, if you guys remember. There were two things to pay attention, which was the Fed signaling eventual rate cuts by first starting to stop QT, which they've done early in the year, and we've pretty much been green ever since. And number two is I would like to see, particularly in the second half of the year, I would like to see some data on productivity that started to showcase the AI impact. Now, I think the majority of the AI impact will start to be felt in 2025 and 2026. However, I would like to see already some humph coming from that side, because that will signal the great increase of profitability going forward. If Trump gets elected, he already discussed cutting corporate tax rates to 15%, already discussed maintaining self-custody in crypto. And basically, we go back to cutting regulation and to make the business environment more friendly. In theory, that should all be helpful for ourselves, as well as if he manages to successfully stop these endless wars and conflicts, and we can actually move forward into something more productive with a focus on economy rather than a focus on all these matters that unfortunately cost a lot of people's lives. And with that, if you guys listen to my live stream and also to my videos a while ago, I was saying that the only way to stop Trump, in my view, in this election would be for something worse than jail to happen to him. That was an inch away. And then I also said, if you guys recall, that the only way that I see Trump losing the election is if an accident happens to Biden. And all of a sudden today it's reported that he has the zombie virus. And I was looking at it, I said, oh no, is this going to be the thing? Now some complications may arise. And I started to think, please don't let that happen, because I was already right with what happened to Trump. I don't want to be right with what happens to Biden. And in the middle of all of this, something crossed my mind that I will reveal what I'm thinking. But I really hope that this doesn't happen. And I think it's fair to say that you see the eventual decline of the US power in the world. And you see that by less and less percentage of reserves being in the US dollar. Europe seems to be finally more open to China and to basically be its own superpower instead of always being dependent on the US. Russia, we all know what happened. China, it's further away than it's ever been from the US. Saudi Arabia, same thing. And I'm thinking, is the US needing another Iraq conflict 2004 kind of moment? And I was thinking, what could be that? So sometimes part of what I do is try to imagine scenarios of what things could happen to lead to certain outcomes. So to be clear, I'm not predicting this. I'm not, saying that this is going to happen. This is not a channel about conspiracy theories or anything like that. I'm just, it's important then, if you think that certain things are good on one side, you need to factor in, okay, what could happen that, you see what's happening with the world, you see the development and the decay of the West, you see the loss of power in many cases of the US in many things, you see the certain countries going away from it. So my question becomes, and we all know what they've done in Iraq, right? This is not a conspiracy theory, it's just history. And I'm thinking, okay, what could be the next Iraq moment? And there's something stuck in my mind, which is, what if something happens to Trump and we find out, now something happens either him being president or him being a candidate. What if something happens to him and we find out that Iran was behind it? What if that happens? It's really at the heart of the region. We already have terrible relationships. It would unify or unite a lot of the basically, abandoning countries. What if that happens? Now, I'm not predicting it happens, but it crossed my mind, and something to be very careful, and something to be, to be aware that this is a reality, because in my view, all bets are off now. Anything is off. Anything is possible. Particularly if the other side of the story happens, I'm even more, my God. In case you guys haven't heard, the Secret Services director was saying that the reason why there weren't people on that roof is because the roof had a slope and it could be dangerous for the officials. This comes from the Secret Services director. It doesn't come from me. It was not me who came up with this story. They came up with this story. So you want to always hope for the best and so on, but there are things which are so obvious and so predictable that it's kind of crazy. And in my view, the best way to escape all of this nonsense is crypto. And so good news for people who are not aware. Over 35% of the Mt. Gox coins have been distributed to creditors. Now, it's important to make a bit of a distinction, and the price is holding very strong, but it's important to make a distinction. For example, Kraken received the Mt. Gox coins already, I think $2.9 billion, but they warned the users that it will take 7 to 14 days to distribute all of it. And this was, I think, 2 days ago. So although it's true that many of the coins have already been distributed to the creditors, it's also important that not all of them are, if you will, unlocked. Okay, so this is something that we should see happening over the upcoming months, over the upcoming month. And to be honest, there's something that you need to understand, which is part of it I think will be redeemed in cash, part of it will be traded for other coins. Which coins? I don't know. Maybe Ethereum. Maybe who knows? Can be anything. August tends to be not the best month for crypto. Actually, it's one of the worst, historically speaking. So also keep that in mind. But at the same time, in quarter four, the settlements from FTX will happen. And basically 16 billion, that's 16 billion USDC, the stablecoin, will be distributed to creditors, not Bitcoin. So I think also there is a white swan, if you will. If you want to call Mt. Gox a black swan, I guess that you can call that a white swan. And there's a lot to look forward to. Point being, the price has remained fairly stable, despite everybody's been aware that a lot of the Mt. Gox coins are being distributed. And this is something that is important to be aware. Once they are distributed, once they are out there, once everything is finished, they can no longer be distributed again. They cannot. So the people who decide to get them, and it's perfectly their right to do so, sell them. Once they sell them, they can no longer sell them when Bitcoin is going up. So they cannot arm the price as the price is going up. So you remove another large negative item happening in the market. And then the question starts to become, okay, what else really negative is there to come? Because Germany already sold. Mt. Gox will be distributed over the rest of the month of July. The DOJ is already sold as well. What's left? Nothing, exactly. So there's a possibility. I'm not saying that's the case. Once again, I've said it before. 2025 is my target. Okay, so if August is green, it's great. If August is red, it's also fine. I mean, you see, I don't care month by month, but be aware that there's still because people are already very excited reporting. Oh my God, 36% of Mt. Gox have been distributed, and the price is holding very strong. Okay, but not all the coins are accessible yet. Okay, so that part is also needs to be said, right? Most people are just covering half of it. I still think that a lot of coins are undervalued. Andy is now holding well above $150 million. Actually, we approached $200 million today. There was a big whale that sold something like 100 plus K and is now completely out. So once again, people were upset and said, okay, but once they've sold, they can no longer harm the price. That's how you should think. And Ethereum is still 1,500 away from its old all-time high. The only coin, really the only altcoin besides Bitcoin, of the older ones that's done a new all-time high this cycle, has been BNB. I'm talking about the major ones and the larger ones. Of course, you can always find a small coin that already did its all-time high. I'm not disputing that. And I think, the cycle is pretty much in full-fledged. I think my priority or my concern the most at the moment is all this political uncertainty. I would be very keen to get quickly to the election, get it over with. Hopefully the Republicans and Trump win, because that would be better for me in terms of crypto, and I think also in terms of world peace, just based on historical evidence. And I guess it's about it. I just wanted to share a little bit of my own conspiracy theory moment, because I was really thinking about it, and it flashed through my eyes about another potential Iraqi moment, and it kind of got me a bit concerned. But hopefully it's just me being paranoid due to all these events, and nothing else will stem from it. In any case, always focus on what I can control, always focus on what I can improve, and where the solution may be for myself. Oh, by the way, Alan, one of my followers, I did buy Zip. He mentioned this coin in the commentary section the other day, and he's been completely on the roll. So I said, look, man, I'll drop $500 for you on that coin. And I did drop it at 286K market cap. And I think the coin is now at 300 something. So, man, so far so good. Maybe you picked another winner, I don't know. If you did, then you drop me. If you want, drop me, create a wallet and drop it, and I'll drop it a little coffee for you or something. I don't know. I'm just joking around. But FYI, guys, you always know that I always disclose my coins. I always disclose when I go in. You're always aware of it. And let's see what happens. And I also reinforced my positions in MAGA Andy and MAGA Wolf. MAGA Andy below 100K market cap. I saw that thing below 100K. I went and I put another clip in it. And MAGA Wolf also a little bit at around 30K market cap. That one, as I've said, extremely high risk. I have no idea if they will succeed. Maybe they will just go straight to zero. I don't know. I had no time. They are very new coins. I'm playing on a potential new narrative. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. But I'm willing to hold it until the election, November 5th. And with that, guys, thank you very much for your support. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget, drop that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow.